Hi, I'm Pastor Sarah. These are my children, Jacob and Anastasia.
Hi.
Tonight we are going to be reading another story from Eggermeyer's Bible story book, and this is called A Sinful Woman is Brought to Jesus. Early the next morning, the scribes and the Pharisees planned another way to get Jesus arrested. They would go to him themselves and ask a very tricky question about the law of Moses. If he did not agree with the law of Moses on this thing, the rulers would accuse him of disobeying the law and making himself greater than Moses. As Jesus taught in the temple, the scribes and Pharisees brought a sinful woman. They said, "Master, this woman is very wicked. We caught her committing sin. Moses commanded in the law that such people should be stoned to death. What do you think we ought to do?" Jesus knew his enemies were trying to trick him. At first, he paid no attention to them. Instead, he stooped down and wrote in the sand as if he had not heard their question. How angry the men were that Jesus did not answer. So they asked him again and again. Finally, Jesus stood up and looked them straight in the eyes as he said, "Let the man among you who is without sin throw the first stone at her." Again, Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust. At first, the rulers looked from one to the other. Then, as they remembered some of their own sins, they looked away. Some stared at the ground. Their consciences troubled them. One man became so uncomfortable that he left. Soon another followed. One by one, they turned and went away. When Jesus looked up, he saw only the woman there. He asked, "Where are those who accused you? Did no man condemn you?" And she replied, "No man, Lord." Then he said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more."
Were you guys listening to that story? Good work. Okay. So, in that story, the scribes and the Pharisees bring to Jesus a woman. They say that she's very, very naughty. And do you know what they wanted to do to her? They said they wanted to stone her, which means they wanted to put her to death. But what did Jesus do? Did he answer them right away? No, he didn't, because he knew it was a tricky question. Have you guys ever had someone ask you a tricky question? You haven't? You have? Do you remember what the tricky question was?
What's $1.50?
What's $1.50? Yeah, that is a pretty tricky question.
I know.
You do know?
50.
50? Like $1.50? Yeah. So, but the question they were asking Jesus was even harder. They were trying to trick him. And so what did Jesus do? Did he answer them? What did he do instead?
Just write in the sand.
He wrote in the sand with his finger. And then do you remember what he told them? He said, who could be the first one to stone the woman to put her to death?
Then.
Well, the person who had never made any mistakes, who had never sinned. And so, did anyone do that then? No. Why not?
Because everyone has sin.
Yeah, everyone has sin and everyone makes mistakes. And so, while Jesus was writing in the sand, what did they do? Anna, do you remember? Did they stay there?
Run away.
Yeah, they all left. And then what did Jesus tell the woman to do? Was he going to condemn her? No. Is that what Jesus came to do, is to condemn us? No, he came to save us and to love us and to forgive us. And he told her to not sin anymore, right? So that's the thing, is sometimes people are looking to get other people in trouble and to get them punished. But Jesus teaches us how to love and forgive, right?
Yeah, but no one reads that book to me.
You want us to read that book to you after this? Okay. But first we got to do our verse, right? John 14. What was the one?
Were we doing John 3:16? You guys
No,
want
we're on a new one. John 14.
You want to do John 14:27?
John 14.
Okay.
That was the 27. Yep.
Peace.
Annie, you want to do it? You want to do it? Come on my lap? Okay, come here. John 14.
I can do it.
Okay, you do it.
Go on.
I'll cover my mouth. You do it. Okay.
John 14:27. He's sorry with you. Peace. I leave with you. My peace. I give you. Not give
I do
to you.
not.
I do not give to you as fellow gifts. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not be afraid.
Good job. Okay, Jake, can you do John 14:27?
Okay. John 14:27. Peace. I live with you. My peace. I give you. I do not give to you. As the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled and do not be afraid.
Nice work, bud.
Good job. Jake.
Excellent job, Anna. Good job, Jake.
I
Can we wave goodbye to our friends?
bye.
Bye.